palace crumbles. Not the stone and mortar of Buckingham Palace, but the very foundation of its public image. The narrative of a dutiful modern monarchy is fracturing under the weight of its own irrelevance. Behind the gilded gates, a quiet panic has set in. Advisors scurry through ornate corridors, faces strained by a crisis that can't be solved with a press release. The old magic is fading. The public, once swayed by pomp, now sees the monarchy as a hollow spectacle, disconnected from real life. The monarchy is a ship adrift, its crew polishing brass as the vessel takes on water. Every headline, every poll showing dwindling support, is another crack in the veneer. The strategies that worked for generations, balcony waves, christenings, tours, no longer hold power. People are struggling, looking for leaders who understand their plight, not royals who play act at normalcy. The palace is no longer a symbol of unity. For many, it's a monument to inequality. The fortress of tradition is becoming a museum of what was, its relevance fading by the day. Out of this simmering panic came the announcement. A classic royal PR move. The Prince and Princess of Wales would make a surprise visit to Northern Ireland. The word surprise was meant to convey spontaneity, but it looked like a hastily arranged chess move. It was a calculated deployment of William and Kate to generate positive headlines. The timing was no coincidence. Just as Harry and Meghan dominated headlines with global work, the palace needed its own story. The Northern Ireland trip was the perfect vehicle, controlled friendly crowds, photogenic activities. It was a masterclass in media manipulation, a textbook example of changing the channel. The stated purpose was to meet locals and highlight growth, but the reality was a tour of light engagements. This was not about grappling with social issues or comforting a nation in crisis. It was a trip built for the camera, where every moment was a photo op. William and Kate arrived with practiced smiles, ready to perform. Beneath the surface, the visit felt hollow, a beautiful, empty gesture in a time that calls for more. It was a performance of duty, not an act of it. The public saw the difference. The first stop was the new $50 million Northern Ireland Fire and Rescue Service College. On paper, a perfect choice, a symbol of progress, a chance to be seen with uniformed heroes. The couple participated in training exercises, throwing a rope to a casualty, and both failed. The press spun it as playful, but it felt symbolic privileged royals play-acting at rescue while millions struggle. Their laughter was out of step with the national mood. Conversations with firefighters were superficial, no real engagement with the challenges they face. The focus was on the royals' charm, not the firefighters' reality. This visit encapsulates the modern royal strategy: optics over impact. The goal was to be seen as helpful, not to help. The event was a stage, the firefighters mere props. Perfect pictures, lingering emptiness. After the fire college, the Royal Roadshow entered a pastoral fantasy. Stops at a flax farm and cider orchard painted a storybook image of country life. Kate tried her hand at scutching flax. William sampled cider. Each moment was a vignette of rustic charm, projecting wholesomeness and connection to the land. But while the royals picked apples, millions chose between heating and eating. The images of laughter and cider felt like a cruel joke amid widespread debt. The visit was escapism, a retreat into quaint traditions, divorced from the nation's urgent struggles. Activities like breaking flax and making bread were pleasant diversions, not solutions. The platform could have amplified voices of those struggling, but instead created a charming travelogue. The rural segment was a deliberate act of misdirection, painting a thriving Britain that doesn't exist for most. The scent of apples couldn't mask the stench of national hardship. The most significant element of the visit was what was left unsaid. There was a deafening silence on the cost of living crisis consuming the UK. No mention of families struggling, no visit to a food bank, no acknowledgement of widespread anxiety. This silence was a deliberate choice, not an oversight. The palace's strategy is avoidance. Controversial subjects are deemed too political. But the cost of living crisis is a human issue, not a political one. The contrast between the royals' opulence and the public's struggle is impossible to ignore. Play acting as farmers while insulated from hardship felt grotesque. The failure to engage is a betrayal of the monarchy's supposed role as a unifying presence. Their silence told the public their struggles weren't worthy of royal attention. The performative nature of William and Kate's visit is stark when contrasted with the Sussexes' work. While the Waleses posed for cameras, Meghan and Harry engaged in global advocacy, mental health, racial justice, online safety. Their work is challenging, complex, and requires a point of view. William and Kate represent the old-way monarchy as symbol, not substance. Their service is measured in smiles, not outcomes. Harry and Meghan have embraced advocacy and action, using their platform to push for change. The palace frames this as duty versus selfishness, but the public is questioning what duty really means. Is it more dutiful to taste cider for cameras, or to speak at the UN about poverty? The contrast reveals the monarchy's fear of substance. In a world facing crises, neutrality is complicity. The Northern Ireland trip only highlighted how far the official monarchy has fallen behind. The media breathlessly reported the Northern Ireland visit as a roaring success. Tabloids filled with glossy spreads, celebrating the couple's charm and relatability. Their failed rope throw was spun as endearing, Kate's hand on William's back, a symbol of partnership. The coverage focused on gloss, ignoring the lack of substance and tone-deaf context. This reveals the double standard. William and Kate are praised for the mundane, while Harry and Meghan face relentless scrutiny. The same actions are judged by different rules. This media ecosystem creates a gilded cage for working royals, protected as long as they stick to the script. Authenticity is punished, performance is rewarded. The press perpetuates this system, but the public is no longer fooled. Social media exposes the double standard and the machinery behind the fairy tale. The media's power to control the narrative is waning. The sycophantic coverage only exposed the media's complicity in propping up a failing institution. The staged visit to Northern Ireland was meant to reaffirm the monarchy's appeal. Instead, it exposed its weakness reliance on optics over substance. The trip was a hollow performance, masking emptiness at the heart of the monarchy. Smiles felt forced, activities trivial, silence on real issues deafening. The royal illusion is unravelling, the public sees through the facade. People want authenticity, empathy, leaders who engage with reality. A monarchy offering only spectacle in a time of crisis is obsolete. The contrast with the Sussexes' substantive work makes this clearer than ever. The old deference is dying. People question the value of inherited privilege. The sight of future monarchs laughing while poverty sweeps the nation is alienating. The crumbling palace signals a shift in values, toward merit, empathy, and genuine service. The monarchy can adapt or fade into irrelevance. The public is ready to move on from the fairy tale. The royal PR game is over.
The submission itself sounds nice. And to my amazing and peculiar Sussex family, thank you all for watching our videos and tuning in to Daily Diaries Friday's update. Keep it light, keep it there, and see you next time in our next episode. Bye bye. May you have a good day and a good time. Keep shining. Bye bye.